So, as Indian Booktuber, I have just finished uploading a video which was pretty long. So, a lot of my free time was spent on actually posting that video. A lot of you might not know that I have a full-time job. I'm a digital marketer. Basically, I do online marketing, and there are a lot of responsibilities in my job profile which I work on all day long. So you might question, Manpreet, when do you read? I read whenever I have free time, when I'm resting or when I'm just taking a break from the work. Or for example, right now the electricity has been cut off and I don't have my Wi-Fi and there's nothing super urgent, so I'm just like picking up my book again, The Girl Who Played with Fire. Honestly, I really am impressed with the first book in the Millennium Trilogy. It was such a nice, fast read. I could just speed through it. And lately I have been reading books which I would absorb. I would read one line at a time at this speed, and that did mean I would not finish a book anytime soon, which kind of changed when I started reading the first book in the Millennium Trilogy. You just fly through these books. They are long, so obviously they take time to just finish up, but still you're reading pages at a much faster rate than usual. So the next day, Tuesday, I have actually read the book for about 1 hour, and a lot of you asked me this question, Manpreet, how many pages do you read in an hour? So I did some tracking with how many pages I was reading every half hour, and the stats were: the first half hour I read about 60 pages, the second half hour I read about 20 pages, and the third half hour I read about 40 pages. So this always differs. It depends on your concentration level, the environment you are reading in, and the actual book. So if there is something which is complicated, if there is something which is tricky, or something that is making you go back and read a paragraph, you will obviously take more time. Whereas if there is something that is making you race through the plot, you will read it faster. So this always differs, and you should stop bothering yourself with the number of pages you're reading unless you are in a competition, which I am not, which I believe is not what this channel is for. So we don't mind how many pages we read in an hour. All we really want to do is enjoy reading and absorb the books in the best possible manner, so that we can just enjoy, entertain ourselves, and also learn something. Okay, so I have to specify the timeline. Today is Saturday. I haven't felt like shooting a clip, but I did read for another 1.5 hours, and I'm really making progress with this book. About 186 pages done, and I actually spent a lot of time today, really about 2 hours, listening to a book called Atomic Habits on Audible. So what happened was, today my mother was not feeling so well, so I had to do all the chores in the kitchen. And really guys, your mothers really work hard. If you're always using the fact that you are working while your mother is a housewife, if she is, as an excuse to not help her with the kitchen, then really try living her life for a day and you'll realize they work much harder than you, which is something I realized today. That also meant that I could listen to audiobooks for a long time, so that's what I did. I am about like 2.5 hours left with that book. It's actually a really good book. So Atomic Habits is one of the most recommended books out there, and I do have an ongoing subscription on Audible, so I always keep trying to buy one book or another. Okay, so if you're not my vlog subscriber, which by the way I make daily vlogs in Hindi, if you are interested in that, you can watch that. You can watch those videos. I'll link the channel down below in the description. If you do not follow me there, you would not know that I am going through like an ear infection. Okay, I love audiobooks, and I love utilizing the benefits of audiobooks, especially when I'm working and like doing the chores around the house, which is something I often do. Not the kitchen one, but helping out my mom with the dusting and stuff. I often do that, and at those times I try to read audiobooks and add in some more reading into my life. That is an excellent strategy for adding some more reading time into your life. But here's the thing, what was happening was, something is going on with my ear, which is also causing me a lot of discomfort, obviously, but also making me lose my ability of hearing gradually, which is why I wasn't utilizing audiobooks much ever since the lockdown began in India. Because a week before lockdown, my condition got diagnosed, and after that, the lockdown happened. And guys, I'm a very paranoid person, so I didn't want to go out. Okay, I was in discomfort. I knew I needed medications, but I was like, not going out. But finally, after like 2.5 months, when this has just settled in, like it has been so long, I decided to go to the doctor, and I'm on medication now. So I actually felt well enough to listen to audiobooks yesterday. So I did that. I almost forgot to mention this, but I also finished reading 25% of this book, Percy Jackson and the Demigod Files. It's a companion novel. I actually got a chance to read on my Kindle while I was visiting a doctor. I think by now you have figured out why I wasn't doing reading vlogs in general, because my reading is quite erratic, if you can say that. It's quite unpredictable. Sometimes I'm reading a lot, sometimes I'm not. And honestly, in this lockdown, I haven't read much. Let me tell you, I am about to finish The Atomic Habits by James Clear. I do want to reread it again because honestly, it's one of the most recommended books out there on habits. And I have tried reading The Power of Habit. I haven't been able to finish it, even though a lot of people talk about Power of Habit and how it's a must read. And I actually own 2 copies of Power of Habit, still haven't read it. Atomic Habits, the fact that I have it in audiobook format, it has helped me to progress through the book. However, I haven't been able to just, feel the impact. For example, when I read The Power by Rhonda Byrne, or when I read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and stuff like this, and even Eat That Frog, I felt an impact. But with this, no impact has come in yet. But I do feel like rereading it, maybe looking for that impact again. So let's see. On my Kindle, by the way, guys, a lot of people continue asking me about this Kindle device. It's one of the best investments I have made when it comes to my reading life. Honestly, it has saved my reading in the past few months. I have been able to read more, much more than I would have otherwise. I have so many books inside it, and honestly, if you are, always wary about spending too much on books and you want to save up on books, then you might want to shift your focus on reading Kindle books, because A, they are cheaper in general, B, you have subscriptions like Kindle Unlimited, and C, there are actually free books out there which are totally free on Kindle, like a lot of classics that are in public domain. All of those are free on Kindle, and then there are many books that keep becoming free. And D, if you own an Amazon Prime subscription, really you can have more books via Prime Reading that you can read for free. So I absolutely love this device. In case you do decide to purchase it later in your life, then please do check out the link in the description and consider using my link, affiliate link, to support my channel. But yes, on this one, I have been reading Fro Won't Stop Barking, Percy Jackson and the Demigod Files by Rick Riordan. To be honest, not enjoying it. They are like a collection of short stories and some more stuff, and I like Percy Jackson, okay, but I'm not like a hardcore Percy Jackson fan. I would pick Heroes of Olympus series anytime as compared to Percy Jackson. So I started reading it because there is this feeling of compulsion in me. I feel compelled to just read the whole works and read them in a chronological order, which is not so good. But yeah, I have put myself up with this book because of that. 58% done with it. I'll finish it, and then I'm not going to read any Percy Jackson book again. I'm maybe going to read another series by Rick Riordan, but not Percy Jackson. Lastly, my update on this Thursday of the second week of this reading vlog is about the Millennium Trilogy Book 2. I've been reading it, actually liking it, but honestly, I haven't been able to read more of it. Problem. See, this is the thing. We create a lot of friction when it comes to reading in our own life. We make it difficult for ourselves to read. For example, we may be like, oh, I only read paperbacks. Oh, I only want to read on my Kindle. But if you reduce that friction, and if you are okay with Kindle ebooks, paperbacks, audiobooks, then you are able to read much more in your life. For me, I am okay with all those three. You'll be like, but then why can't you read? I'll tell you, I really want to read this book. But I have created that friction by signing myself up for this project, self-inflicted one. I'm doing this different kind of video for this channel, for which I have to film myself every time I'm reading this, which is something which I'm like, even if I want to pick up and read a few pages, I'm like, oh, I have to set the camera, oh, I have to set this up, and then I have to read. Then I'm like, maybe I should do something else. So the lesson for you guys is that never create that friction in your life when it comes to reading. Always keep it easy for you to read a book. Keep your book just by your bedside, or keep a book with you every time you are anywhere. Okay, keep books around you all the time, or switch to ebooks and keep your Kindle around you all the time, or switch to audiobooks and keep your headphones around you all the time, because you don't want to be that person who listens to something, music or audiobooks on speaker in public places. Those people are not good, I'm telling you. Hi guys, this is the end of the vlog, and if you're thinking, Manpreet, what exactly did you read throughout this vlog? So in last 2 weeks, I have finished reading one book, which is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. As evident from the name, it's about building up habits that could lead to a better life. And I listened to it on Audible. However, I do not think it impacted me that much. It's considered one of the best books out there about habit making. And honestly, all my attempts to read books about habit making have failed, which is why I feel like maybe I should try this out again, because it was the smooth and interesting read in a simple manner. It was just not impactful to me, and my history of struggling with books on habit making makes me just wonder that maybe it's just me who is not getting the point. So I am just hoping to read this book once again soon. Apart from that, I have read about 200 plus pages of The Girl Who Played with Fire. This is Millennium Trilogy Book 2, and honestly, as something which is a thriller, it's not very powerful, I would say. For example, I loved The Girl on the Train. It's such a mind-boggling psychological thriller, and it was so fun to read, and it was so amazing. These are also really good, and the whole writing, characters, description, everything is fantastic. But most of the times, a lot of romances are put into the category of chick lit. This would be put in the category of chick lit of thrillers. If that makes sense. Just that it's good for enjoyment, but it's just something you would just race through, and nothing really touches you. I don't know how to just put it out. Maybe by the time I have finished this series, I'll be able to articulate it better. But yes, this was the second book that I was reading in these 2 weeks. Apart from that, I read about 25% of the Percy Jackson and the Demigod Files. Again, not something I'm enjoying much. So yeah, that is what I've been reading in this reading vlog. I just got so many requests from you guys about making reading vlogs, and I felt like I want to step up the quantity of content on this channel again. So I thought including reading vlogs would be a good idea. So if you enjoyed this one, and if you want me to continue making reading vlogs, please hit a thumbs up, comment down below, and do remember that if you want to support this channel, you should comment on all of my videos and also subscribe to me. That really helps to grow this channel, and I'm very grateful to you for that. So thank you so much for watching this reading vlog. This is Minty signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.